Welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a new series of developments that are throwing life at Fairmont Crest into greater chaos than ever. Unresolved secrets, pent-up emotions, and baffling decisions are pushing the characters into increasingly uncontrollable situations. At the center of it all, Nicole unexpectedly steps in to save the day. Jacob prepares something special for Naomi, and Donnie and Andre find themselves trapped in a truly bizarre marriage. Major unspoken secrets, unresolved hurts, and a widening rift still stand between them. Yet, in the episode airing Wednesday, August 19th, the two appear poised to cross a new threshold. Is this merely another impulsive move reminiscent of their unconventional Las Vegas wedding, or will this specific action mark a turning point from which Donnie and Andre's relationship can never return? Okay, I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but this plot makes me feel like everything is about to fall apart in the most devastating way imaginable. We are standing on the precipice of some massive emotional explosions, and honestly, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Let's start with Naomi and Jacob, because their storyline is currently tearing my heart into a million tiny pieces. I mean, look at everything Naomi is carrying right now. It is genuinely a miracle she is even still standing. Her father is lying in a hospital bed, and she has essentially taken the entire weight of his law firm onto her own shoulders. She is running the office, putting out fires, and trying to maintain a facade of absolute professional control while her personal life is a complete and utter mess. And if that wasn't enough, she is playing amateur detective, obsessively trying to figure out if Haley is having an affair. It's too much. No, wait, the issue isn't just the workload. It's the emotional toll of carrying everyone else's secrets, while your own life is fundamentally cracking at the seams. Then, of course, there is the terrifying reality of the BRCA gene. This isn't just a medical storyline, this is a profound psychological blow. Carrying that gene is like walking around with a ticking time bomb embedded in your own DNA, waiting for the day it decides to go off. She has had to deal with this looming, suffocating shadow of potential illness while Jacob was completely off the grid, risking his life on his undercover mission. She spent weeks, maybe months, not knowing if her husband was going to come home in a body bag, all while silently wondering if her own body was turning against her. I know I just said the opposite earlier about her being incredibly strong, but let me continue. Her strength is actually her greatest vulnerability right now. She is so accustomed to being the survivor, the fixer, the one who holds it all together, that she literally does not know how to collapse. She is terrified, masking her profound fear with relentless productivity. And then we have Jacob. Oh, Jacob. He is trying so incredibly hard, and it breaks my heart because he is completely missing the mark. He knows he put Naomi through absolute hell during his undercover stint. The guilt of his absence is eating him alive, and so he does what any desperate, loving husband would do. He tries to manufacture a moment of pure happiness. He enlists Ashley and Grayson to help him throw this massive, elaborate surprise party. He desperately wants to give her one night of peace, one night where she can just smile and forget the crushing weight of her reality. But honestly, I think this party is more about Jacob needing to feel like a capable, good husband than it is about Naomi actually needing a celebration. He is trying to fix an internal hemorrhage with a shiny band-aid. Just picture the scene we saw teased in the preview. Naomi walks through those doors, the lights suddenly go up, and everyone shouts surprise. I can already see the micro-expression on her face that split second where her eyes widen not just in shock, but in sheer, unadulterated panic. You can see the physical effort it takes for her to quickly paste on a grateful smile. She will pretend to be thrilled, she will laugh, she will hug Ashley and Grayson, all just so Jacob doesn't worry. A seemingly ordinary line of dialogue, like her whispering, "Oh, Jacob, you really shouldn't have," is going to sound like a literal cry for help if you listen closely to the subtle tremor in her voice. The timing of this party couldn't be worse. She is at an emotional break point, and forcing her to perform happiness in front of a crowd is going to push her right over the edge. And this is where the physical toll violently collides with the emotional one. Has the prolonged, unrelenting stress completely exhausted her immune system? Is the BRCA gene actually showing active signs of developing into something sinister? Or is her body simply staging a rebellion, shutting down from sheer, unmitigated burnout? I predict she will be standing there in the middle of the room, maybe holding a glass of champagne, pretending to listen to a toast, and suddenly the room will start spinning. She will try to hide it, of course. She will look away, take a sharp, deep breath, and try to steady her trembling hand on a nearby table. And then bam, she faints. She just completely collapses. The party Jacob meticulously created to save her will instantaneously become the exact moment his worst nightmares materialize. The sheer, primal panic in Jacob's eyes as he drops to the floor next to his unconscious wife. It's going to be a choice with no turning back for their narrative. Once she falls, the truth of her exhaustion and her fear can no longer be hidden. Now, let's pivot away from that tragedy and look at the absolute disaster waiting to happen with Donnie and Andre. If Naomi and Jacob are a tragedy of circumstance, Donnie and Andre are a tragedy of their own deliberate making. They are currently parading around as this cool, detached, unconventional couple, living life on their own terms. But it is entirely a fragile illusion built on a rotting foundation of lies. Donnie is harboring a secret so toxic it could destroy their entire world. She slept with Bill on the night of the devastating tornado. That wasn't just a physical slip-up, that was a spiritual betrayal of the highest order, born out of fear and adrenaline. And she has kept it buried deep inside for weeks, smiling at Andre while the memory of Bill burns in her mind. I mean, she's not entirely wrong for wanting to protect the life she has built with Andre, but you can't say she's right either. She is looking at Andre every single day, kissing him, making plans, while the ghost of Bill is hovering right between them in every interaction. The guilt must be utterly suffocating her. Every single time Andre looks at her with complete, blind trust, it has to feel like a jagged knife twisting in her gut. She is pretending to be strong, pretending to be this modern, unfazed woman, but she is crumbling into dust inside. She is a deeply pitiable character right now, trapped in a cage of her own deceit, terrified of the catastrophic consequences that will rain down when the truth inevitably comes out. But don't feel too sorry for Andre, because he is playing his own twisted, hypocritical game. We all know about his wild, debauched past, but this recent, highly secretive meeting with Heather, that changes the entire dynamic. They have a history that isn't just romantic. It's dark, it's complicated, and it is entirely unresolved. When he finally reconnected with Donnie after seeing Heather, he didn't say a single word about it. Silence, in this case, becomes undeniable evidence of betrayal. He is hiding his own lingering attachments, his own guilt, behind his charming, easygoing smile. He is just as deceptive as Donnie, making them a perfectly matched, mutually destructive pair. The spoilers are heavily hinting that they are about to step beyond conventional rules. What does that even mean in their context? Are they officially opening up their relationship? Because if they do, they are practically handing Bill and Heather the keys to their own destruction. It's a fascinating, horrifying chain reaction waiting to happen, because Donnie is hiding her guilt over Bill. She might eagerly agree to this open arrangement as a subconscious way to ease her conscience, because Andre is hiding his renewed connection with Heather. He is the one who suggests it to create a loophole for himself. And once Bill and Heather are officially invited into the mix, the entire relationship begins to crumble from the inside out. When both of their explosive secrets are finally laid bare, who even has the right to be angry? They will both be standing in the smoldering wreckage of their own making, realizing that their continuous lies caused a massive crack in trust that can never, ever be repaired. Will their love be strong enough to survive a double betrayal? I highly doubt it. This feels like the final, fatal storm that will shatter them into a million unrecoverable pieces. Meanwhile, over at the luxurious Fairmont Crest, we have a completely different kind of emotional manipulation unfolding, albeit one disguised as a heartwarming rescue mission. Nicole is stepping up to the plate to save Noah at his highly anticipated open mic night in Uptown. Noah is just a kid, and the pressure of performing is clearly going to crush him. I can see him now, standing backstage, his guitar in hand, completely paralyzed by a massive panic attack just moments before he is supposed to step into the spotlight. He is going to lose his nerve completely. And Nicole, using her incredibly sharp instincts, not even relying on her formal psychology background, but just pure, raw emotional intelligence, will step in and talk him off the ledge. She will look him dead in the eye and say the exact right combination of words to validate his fear while simultaneously giving him his confidence back. It's going to be a genuinely beautiful, tender moment. But the real story here isn't just about Noah. It's about Keel. I can picture the exact way Keel will look at Nicole in that moment. It's not just going to be standard gratitude. It's going to be a profound, life-altering realization. Keel is going to watch Nicole soothe his panicked son, and he is going to see her not just as the beautiful woman he is exclusively dating, but as a deeply necessary maternal figure for his family. This act of saving Noah will irrevocably cement Nicole's place in Keel's heart. It will make him feel incredibly indebted to her, drawing them closer than ever. But it also raises the emotional stakes to a terrifying degree. By integrating herself so deeply into Noah's vulnerable psyche, Nicole is making herself indispensable. If things ever go south between Keel and Nicole, the collateral damage to Noah will be absolutely devastating. She is weaving herself into the very fabric of their family, and while it looks like a beautiful tapestry right now, we all know how quickly these things can unravel in this town. Finally, let's talk about the impending disaster between Vernon and Anita. Vernon is planning something incredibly special, likely deeply romantic, for Anita at Fairmont Crest. He wants to show her how much she means to him. But of course, because this is the universe we live in and happiness is fleeting, his meticulous plans are going to be abruptly and rudely interrupted. I don't know exactly who or what crashed the party, maybe a sudden work emergency, maybe an unwelcome face from the past, but the fallout is going to be a masterclass in classic agonizing miscommunication. Vernon, desperately trying to salvage the ruined surprise for a later date, will likely keep his mouth shut about what he was going to do. He will try to play it cool. But Anita is going to read that silence completely, tragically wrong. She is going to look at his evasiveness, his sudden change in demeanor, and she is going to think he forgot their special day. Or worse, her mind will start racing, wondering if he is hiding something far more sinister. A crack in trust forms so incredibly easily when open communication breaks down. Because Vernon is stubbornly trying to protect a secret, the ruined romantic gesture, he inadvertently destroys Anita's happiness and security in that very moment. I can see the exact moment it happens. Anita will turn away from him, the light dying in her eyes, and her tone of voice will drop just a fraction, a seemingly ordinary shift that actually foreshadows absolute disaster. "It's fine, Vernon, don't worry about it," she will say, but it won't be fine. That tiny seed of disappointment will quickly fester into a massive, paranoid argument. Anyway, I'm going a bit too far down the rabbit hole of hypotheticals, but the main point is that every single character right now is blindly walking on a dangerous tightrope of their own design. The betrayals and heartbreaks we are about to witness aren't just sudden, unearned shocks. They are the tragic, inevitable result of accumulated trauma, prolonged silence, and deeply misguided attempts to protect the people they love. When Naomi inevitably falls to the floor, Jacob will have to face the agonizing reality that his love couldn't save her from her own biology and stress. When Donnie and Andre's toxic, intertwined secrets finally detonate, there will be no turning back. They will lose everything they fought so hard to build, destroyed by their own hypocritical rules. Kia will fall deeper and deeper into Nicole's comforting web, completely unaware of how much power he is handing over to her. And Anita will furiously seek answers that Vernon isn't ready to give, potentially destroying their relationship over a simple misunderstanding born of silence. The truth is coming for every single one of them like a freight train, and it is going to be absolutely fascinating to see who speaks up, who seeks revenge, and who ultimately loses everything in the wreckage.